Okay, so look at that. These are my scars.
Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something extremely different. I'm going to be sharing how I do my makeup, but also I wanted to share with you the history of my skin. And this is another theme in this channel where I talk about my shadows. If you didn't know me in college, then you wouldn't know that I dealt with extreme acne when I was in college, and it was all due to myself. I will be telling that story and doing my makeup, so let's get started.
The story about my acne is a story about me giving up in trust in God or source or whatever you want to call it, and pretty much just trying to control everything in my life.
Okay, so before I start, I'm just gonna put some cover up. This is what I like to do.
I had an amazing high school and college experience in which I manifested everything I wanted and more. And then fear started to come into the picture, and I started to try to control everything in my life.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna follow this girl.
A base crease shade.
She's doing a base crease shade. I have the cheapest brush that Sephora sells. It does the job.
This girl is white. Maybe I should have picked a girl that looks like me. Now, I had been taught the lesson of letting go very young because my father died when I was 12 years old. I wasn't the type of person to hold on to things. I wasn't a type of person to set goals and achieve them. I was just a really chill person. And then I started seeing things I wanted, and then I would like inch my way over to them and start working harder and then get them. And I decided to stop trusting in life.
I'm controlling the lighting right now. My skin looks amazing, but up close, it doesn't look like that.
Honestly, just keep going until something looks good.
There is nothing wrong with being messy.
Windshield wiper motion. It was a moment. It was a decision when I stopped deciding. And I remember the moment. I was driving around in my car in Davis, and I was just like, God, I want to be invisible. There was so much attention on me, and people loved me, and people wanted to see what I was going to do next, and I didn't know what I was going to do next, and I felt like a failure. And I was like, God, I want to be invisible. How do I become invisible? Like, I didn't want to die, but I just didn't want people to see me anymore. I was so angry that I had done all these amazing things and I didn't know where the next step was. And I was so angry, I took it out on my parents for not teaching me, for not helping me to believe more in myself. All I was told my whole life was get a job, there isn't enough money to do the things you want to do, all these negative thoughts. I just started living in those negative thoughts, like clicking it on. That's why I'm doing this. It's like a radio, tuning into that frequency of negativity.
I'm a finger girl. I am so sorry. I'm just gonna take this.
And that's when I started noticing situations where I could make myself invisible. And this is the way it happened.
Eyeliner is super scary, isn't it? For me, it's scary because if I mess up, there's a chance that I'll just be like, whatever, and I'll just wear it. That's why it's scary. We're officially done with the eyes. Now what I'm going to be doing is putting on this primer that I just got. Minimize Pores Primer. So here we go into the story time. When I was in college, this is when I started living in fear. I was a performer. I was majoring in dramatic arts, and I was super self-conscious about the role that I had gotten, and I had so many limiting beliefs about myself. Basically, I didn't think I was good enough for the role. I was super stressed because it was the end of the school year. I was also taking all the college prereqs to graduate, and I got like 3 or 4 pimples like on my forehead, and I got so self-conscious and I got so afraid of not being perfect. I moaned and cried to my mom to like ask her to take me to the doctor so that I could get medication for those 4 pimples on my face. I had had pimples throughout my life, and this wasn't like a big deal. I could have just taken care of my skin, kind of ignored them, and it wouldn't have turned into a big problem. I didn't do that. Instead, what I did is I went to the doctor, and of course, the doctor gives you a prescription because they just love giving those things out. And she gave me a antibacterial prescription, which was basically steroids. And so I took that for about a month, and oh my gosh, my acne went away. Would you look at that? Steroids work. I was so happy. I was so confident in my new skin. But college is a busy time for people, and I needed to refill my prescription. I ran out of pills, and instead of like right that day going to refill my prescription, I waited about 1 week. And then breakout. Not your normal breakout. This was an unnatural breakout like nothing I had ever experienced before, and I grew up with quite a lot of acne in high school, but this breakout was so intense it covered my whole face. So I rushed to the doctor to get my prescription filled again, and I started taking the pills, thinking, oh yeah, like I'm taking the pills again, this is just gonna stop, this is gonna go away. It didn't stop. I took my regular dose every day, and I honestly just stopped taking action on it. I realized it had been my own fault. I stopped taking the pills altogether. Getting some Laura Mercier right here, you know, because we beaten today. Oh my god, literally, it's been a year since I've beat my face. This is crazy. I'm like remembering all these things. It's like riding a bike. You'll never forget how to beat your face. This is for the creases, right? I just tried to be natural again with my skin for about, I think it was a year. I lived with awful acne, and I was in plays and things like that. It was so disheartening, and I turned into like an introvert after that. Like I hated myself. I didn't want people to see me, but I was in one of the best roles of my life. I was in Rent. I was Mimi in Rent, so I couldn't hide. So I did all the things. I tried the proactive treatment. I like spent so much money on acne stuff. And then finally I went to the dermatologist, and they recommended the pill. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it right now. It's that really strong pill that you take, and before you get a prescription renewed every month, you have to say that you're doing birth control or you're not having sex, because if you took this pill with a fetus inside you, it would damage the fetus. So yeah, I had to do that for about 6 months. Oh, also, I was the type of person, I would pop my pimples. So you can't see it now. And this is the reason I have to use pore minimizers and things that smooth my skin, because, oh, you can't really see it in this light because oh, there it is. Okay, so look at that. These are my scars, and mostly it's from popping my pimples a lot. See that?
From this experience, I learned that my thoughts have power. Such incredible power to make anything happen. It was the first time I tried to control things in my life, and I gave up on trusting my instincts, trusting God, trusting Source, and I started to believe in the things that were outside of me, in the world, the things I was seeing, other people's experiences, other people's journeys, comparing myself, and that's how I got to where I got. I believe in the power of God and manifestation. I did this to myself. The reason I am meditating on this experience right now is because I never truly came back from it, and truthfully it happened again because I didn't trust in myself. And 2021 is the year that I embraced the quote, "When you know better, you do better." And I really have to look deep at the lessons in my life and the way that my life is speaking to me, because your life speaks to you and you need to listen. I haven't listened. I haven't been listening.
Still now it bothers me, and I have different ways of embracing it, but I'm super aware of it. And when people look at me, I'm super aware of if they're like looking at my scars. It's really something I'm going to try to intentionally embrace, because we are all about embracing our scars. It's part of my story now.
And not trusting in yourself is the first sin. It is the first sin of not believing and not trusting in God in your journey. You know what's right. You know the next step for yourself. Stop looking at other people. Stop comparing yourself to their journeys. Listen to your life. What is your life told you up until now? My acne experience taught me that when I start to fear, when I start to control things, when I start to take the reins away from God, this is what happens. And I don't have that power. I can't rely on myself. I have no power. I'm a human being. I need to let go and trust that all my desires are happening in me and through me, and to co-create with God. I don't know if that makes sense.
Ooh, I look so dramatic. The last thing we need to do, I bought this too. That all-nighter, because you know we raging tonight.
You need to stop and meditate, listen to your life, do yoga, smoke weed, do what you must in order to get into that space again, because we all have that. We all have that. When we were 7 years old, we were running around in that space, and we can get back to it as adults. We can be there. Stop looking at other people. Trust in yourself, trust in God, listen to your life. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it brings some brightness to your day and my real world experience. Hopefully you're able to relate. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I forgot the eyebrows. Now I am new to eyebrows. I do not know what the hell I am doing. All I know is what's going through my mind right now is Julia Roberts from the movie Stepmother, when she was like,